When speaking in terms of architectural openings, hardware locations refer to the specific placement of individual items such as hinges, lock sets, and deadbolts. In practice, these locations are determined by the manufacturer of the hollow metal doors and frames that are to receive these products. AVAproject comes preloaded with a complete library of hardware locations for the many popular hollow metal brands. This information is available for viewing right inside the software by clicking on the AVAproject bookshelf icon and selecting the book entitled Hardware Locations. The location information is taken directly from catalogs and technical references published by the various manufacturers and has been expressed in a nomenclature that can be used by AVAproject to automatically position hardware as required. In AVAproject, the primary setting for hardware locations is located in the Project Info tab, found in the project bar. Standard hardware locations, as specified by any manufacturer listed in the AVAproject library, can be selected. The default setting, however, is the Special Frame Manufacturer option. When this is chosen, AVAproject will use the location specifications as determined by the frame manufacturer for each individual opening. This allows a job with multiple manufacturers to each draw from their own set of hardware locations. Based upon this location set and the preparation specified for the hardware installed on a given opening, AVAproject is able to generate detailed door machining sheets containing a listing of each hardware preparation a door is to receive, in addition to positioning information where applicable. The hardware location set, used to position the hardware, is identified at the bottom of each sheet. For most new construction, manufacturers' standard hardware locations are generally sufficient. However, in some situations, such as retrofits or when dealing with atypical openings, it may become necessary to specify a special or custom hardware location. In AVAproject, this can be easily done using a special column within the hardware groups. The vertical position column allows hardware positioning to be specified using the exact same nomenclature that AVAproject uses in its own location library. The nomenclature used to specify a hardware location is made up of two letters and a measurement. The first letter establishes a reference point in respect of the opening itself. Vertical positions are mapped from the top, bottom, or center of the opening using T, B, or C, respectively. The second letter indicates the reference point on the hardware itself. Once again, top, bottom, or center. The numbers that follow are the measurements between those two reference points specified in decimal inches. For example, TT5 indicates a position of 5 inches from the top of the frame to the top of the hardware item. Similarly, BB10 indicates a position of 10 inches from the bottom of the frame to the bottom of the item. In situations where multiple hinges are required, the abbreviation EQ is often used to indicate that the remaining hinges should be positioned equidistantly between the first two. The number of hinges is determined by the manufacturer's specification given the height of the opening. Lock sets are similarly located, typically from the bottom of the opening or finished floor. BC 40.3125 indicates a positioning of 40 and 5/16 inches from the bottom to the center line of the lock set. This location information is used by AVAproject in order to generate reports such as the door machining sheets. At first glance, the dimensions on the door machining sheets may be a bit confusing, as they don't appear to correspond to those of the hardware location sheets or the opening elevations. In actuality, they do. They've simply been adjusted slightly to accommodate the purpose for which door machining sheets are intended. Door machining sheets are intended to facilitate the ordering of custom manufactured and prepared doors. Therefore, by convention, all dimensions, regardless of how they were initially specified, are expressed from a common starting point. In this case, the top of the actual door. The position of each hardware preparation, whether specified from the bottom of the opening or relative to other hardware items, is calculated in respect of its distance from the top edge of the door. The locations are then further adjusted to allow for one final detail: the position of the hardware in respect of the actual door as opposed to the opening. When hardware locations are specified, they are measured in terms of the overall or nominal opening size. This is not, however, the size of the door inside the frame. In the case of a typical opening, Like the one pictured here, the door is cut slightly smaller than the opening it fills, typically 1/8 of an inch on the top and sides to allow for free movement within the frame. When a door is being manufactured, there is no frame or nominal opening to measure from, so all dimensions must be expressed from the top of the actual door leaf by subtracting the top gap from each dimension.